it's Crafty Homemaker here. I brought you back today, so we're going to make a beef casserole. But I'm going to cook it in my thermal cooker. If you haven't got one of these, you can use a slow cooker, you can put it in the oven, whatever you choose to do. But this is what I'm going to use. It's my bag. I made this one myself. I've just bought a tablecloth off Amazon, so it was already a circle. It's got lamb wool inside. Obviously circles at each section, got a lid to put on it afterwards, and it goes in here once you've got it to boiling for about 30 minutes. So then it's going to stay in there for about 4 hours, non-electric, and it's saving me energy while I'm doing it. So right, let's get started. Plug this in. I do actually own a Wonder bag as well, which is brilliant. It's a well-known one. There's loads of recipes online if you want to have a look at using the bags. It's very interesting and it works really well. So I've got a cast iron pot because if I'm using the thermal cooker, this is going to hold the heat a lot better than any other pan I've got. So this is what I'm using today. First of all, we're going to brown off some onions. Put a bit of oil in there. I did load up my first ever video, and there is a little mistake on it. When it my daughter was having me edit it because I've never done that before, and there's me saying the same thing twice. It's not a thing in the matrix, it's just a little mistake, but it seemed more aggravation to try and you know, change it. So I'm going to put my glasses on because I can see a lot better now. That's better. Right, okay, so we've got it all in there. What we've got is we've got some lean beef, like stewing steak, because it's going to be slow cooking. That I've put it's got flour in there, and I've put some seasonings in there. I had a Texan steakhouse seasoning I've put in that, but you know, just season it up how you like it. We're going to I've got some potatoes, I've got an onion, we're going to be putting some dumplings in it. We've got thyme, garlic, pepper, smoked paprika, bay leaves, stock cubes. I've got some salt, but I will be tasting it because stock cubes can be a bit salty, so I won't be adding that until we've tasted what it already tastes like. We've got some beer we're going to be putting in. This is the one I'm using. I'm going to use half a bottle of that for flavour. You could use red wine, or you could just use your stock cubes. You don't have to put alcohol in it. You know, that's again up to you. It's getting warm now. And then I dehydrated some casserole veg. This is it in here, and I'm going to be using that. You can use frozen casserole veg. You can cut up carrots, whatever you like. I mean, it's my shopping day today, so I'm just using what I've got around now until I pick my shopping up later. And that's what we're using, is this, and that will rehydrate while it's slow cooking in the bag. So there. One thing you've got to remember, if you do use the bag, the thermal bag, is it does not lessen any liquid at all. So it's not going to, like if you've got it in the oven, if you keep it on the hob, you'll lose some of your liquid. I mean, it'll evaporate, you know, and cook down. So in the bag it doesn't. So you'll keep all the fluid, the liquid you've got in there, you'll keep it if you cook it in a bag. So yeah. Right, let's put this in here. It's not quite hot enough yet, but I should have really heated it up before I started yakking away, but there you go. I didn't, so we'll just go with it. Yeah. So I've got one onion. I only had a red onion, so that's what we're using. If you haven't got an onion, you could put onion powder in it. That's completely up to you. I'm basically just putting stuff in. I'm not going to be measuring it. It's just what we've got around we'll be putting in there. So that's the onion in there. I've put flour on the meat because it will help thicken it. But what I should probably do, once we've got it, because once I've got this all ready, for it to go in the bag, this has got to then boil for like 30 minutes. Once it gets hot enough and I can see if it's going to thicken up, If it's not, I'll probably thicken it before I put it in the bag. I'm not sure yet, but that's what I'm thinking. Dumplings, I've used the bag before to just cook casseroles, curries and so forth. No problems at all. I've never put dumplings in there. My way of thinking is that I need to put them in sort of like when it goes, because you shouldn't really open the bag once you put the food in there because you're going to lose heat. So I'm going to put the dumplings in as well before I put it in the bag. And then we'll see together. I think they will cook fine, but we'll see how it goes. With using a thermal cooker, if for instance, I don't know, I've not had this trouble. I've found food comes out really hot in it. Once you've put it in there all properly, it's fine. Is if you don't feel it's hot enough, you can put it back on the hob and just heat it back through. If you think about you've had an electric appliance on for 4 hours to the fact that you've put it in a bag, I mean, you might use a little bit more electricity heating it back up. To me, it's still a saving. They're great for camping as well, because we like to go camping, so it's good for that. Oh, you can see me all right. We've moved the camera to the other side. Right, that's, as you can hear, is nice and hot now. So we're going to bung the meat in. There we go. I'll put that over there. Let's get the other one to be better. So I'll just get my spatula from the meat bowl. Right. Okay. I'm going to brown that all up with the onion. Now I've got my little bits and pieces in little bowls here. What we're going to use. I will tell you as I do it. I don't know if I will need the extra salt yet. We're going to be trying it. It's always important to taste your food. And if you like the taste of it and you think your family will, that's the most important thing. I mean, you could make this more tomatoey if you wanted to, and just bung in a tin of tomatoes and some stock. And make that sort of flavour. Move all my stuff here, there we go. I mean, it's a really good, if you haven't got beef, you could do a chicken casserole. It's a good thing to make when you do your shopping, because like I said, anything goes really, you can bung in it more or less. Any veg you've got left over, what you and your family like, potatoes, you know, make it more tomatoey. You could just use stock and thicken up the stock just like in a gravy. Loads of different things you can do. I already had this in the freezer, this meat. I got it out yesterday because I'm nearly out of potatoes because it's shopping day. Don't worry about scraping the bottom of your pot because that's all flavour on the bottom. And I was nearly out of potatoes and I thought, oh, what am I going to cook today? Because we had like rice yesterday. I didn't really want a rice dish again today. So, you know, I thought, I know, I've got this beef. And beef is so good if you cook it so good. So even if you put this in a slow cooker, or nice and low most of the day, or in the oven nice and low, and let that meat cook, absorbs all the flavour. Very nice. Right. There we go. Right, hasn't all got to be totally brown, that's good enough for me. You don't even have to brown it really. Right, I'm going to use half this bottle, so I'm going to just guess it. Let's put that in. A bit more. Yeah, that's about right. Put that over there. There we go. Scrape the bottom of your pot. You want all that flavour from the bottom. There we go. Scrape it. Yeah. Nice. Get that really nice gravy you're going to get out of this. at that. It looks looking good already, look. Right, so we've got that in there. We're also going to add a little bit of water as well. Where did I put my water? Here we are. Right, put that up a little bit more. There we go. And the good thing is, if you've got anything left when you've had your dinner later, you could even make a pie out of it if there's enough to make a pie. It'd make lovely pie filling. If your gravy's nice and thick and rich, lovely. Right. So I'm going to start off, I'm just going to add one stock cube. And then later on in a bit we will taste it and see what it tastes like. I've got two out just in case, but we're going to go for one for now. There we go, put one of them in. Stock pot would be brilliant as well, whatever. Right, I've got 2 teaspoons of garlic. We like garlic in here, so we've got 2 teaspoons of garlic. There we go. Could use garlic powder if you haven't got pureed garlic. I'm just washing that stock cube off my hands. Right. I've got 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika because I like that smoky flavour, so we're going to put that in. You could use normal paprika if you haven't got the smoked. That's smelling good. Nice rich flavour. I've got 2 teaspoons of thyme. Put that in there. Lovely. Like I said, I'm going to hold off on the salt. And I've got 2 teaspoons of pepper. I've got black pepper. Again, you season it to, in fact, I'm not going to put it all in. There we go, I'm going to leave some of it out. You season to what you like, how you taste it. So I'd start off with 1 teaspoon. And then try it and see if you want any more pepper in there. So we're going to let that thing. We've got, I had these potatoes, like the salad potatoes. That's all I had. They're going in. We've got them in there. There we go. There we go. It's smelling good. And here's my dehydrated casserole veg. That's what it looks like and what it sounds like, dried. Right, we're going to put that in like that. There we go. A bit more. Like I said, as that cooks, that will rehydrate. Sometimes the texture is a little bit different once stuff rehydrates, but it's not. Mushrooms you can quite notice it in, but not. I don't find them horrible, not in a horrible way. But most things are good. They're handy to have. I mean, that in there, you saw it, but actually I've got another bottle there. There you go. That is a whole packet of frozen casserole veg, which was in a bag like that. So that's what it ends up size-wise down. It's handy to have for emergencies, or you know, if you, like I said, shopping day. Have I got any veg? No. So I've got the dehydrated stuff to use instead. So it, you know, works out quite well. Well, that's looking really good. Right, we've got a couple of bay leaves we're going to be putting in as well. We're just going to let that come to a little bit of a bubble, because then we're going to try it. This is we're going to try it and see what it tastes like. I mean, it's looking good. Look, here we go. Lovely. So let's bring that up a bit. Now it's important, if you've got a thermal bag, or if you're thinking about getting one, I mean, please look into it. I did, because I'd never used anything like it before. You need to bring this up to a boil and then put the lid on it, because the pot needs to be hot. I'm going to leave that bubbling away for like 30 minutes with the lid on, and then literally I'll be putting it straight in the bag, and that's where it'll stay. I won't touch it, I won't look at it, I'll leave that until literally my husband's in. It's going to be about 4 hours, and basically it cooks in the heat that you've sealed into this pot. It's cooking in that heat. Yeah, so you'll still get the tender meat. I will show you once it's cooked, you know, it's finished later. But I mean, it's, you know, if you had a power cut or anything like that, I mean, I've made sure that I've got a little camping stove here, so that if anything did happen without electricity for, you know, a length of time all day, so I can still cook for the family. I could, you know, put something in a pan, heat it up, a casserole, a curry or something like that, and then I've got 2 of them bags. You can do the same with rice. It cooks rice as well. I could put a curry in one of the bags and rice in the other, and it would cook without no electricity. So it's certainly worth having. And before now, if I've been doing some food, you know, because I've only got a small kitchen, and you know, I've only got 2 ring hob, and I've got, I don't know, veggies or some potatoes that I need to get out of the way so I can put something else on. I've even put them in the bag to keep them hot while I've done other stuff, and then took it out when it's ready to dish up. So it's even handy for that reason as well. But if, you know, you don't have to be a fantastic sewer. If you've got a sewing machine, like I said, I knit mine up on the sewing machine. I'm not a great sewer really, but I found it easy buying the round tablecloth, because I literally just followed the pattern. It was a mandala pattern, and I followed the pattern on there. I brought some a washed lamb's fleece that I then used like a I don't know if you call it a tessel brush, a really fine brush that you to brush it out and turn it into like a stuff it all up. I did that, and that's what you can still smell the sheep a little bit, but it doesn't offend me. It's in the, you know, because of the wool, but you know, it's a good, great insulator, and it's all natural. Right, but that's looking good. I'm going to get a spoon ready. I'm thinking a little bit more pepper, but let's have another little mooch in there. Yeah, I still don't think it needs quite 2 teaspoons, but it needs a little bit more pepper. Put that in there. You can always add more as well when it's finished slow cooking, once it's all sort of like the flavours have established a bit. But yeah, a little bit more pepper. It's tasting good though. Very happy with that. So I'm putting 2 bay leaves in mine. I'm not going to put any salt in it at the moment. Shall I? You make it. See, now I'm second guessing myself now. All I've got there is a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I haven't got much. I am going to put a little bit in. I don't mean to confuse you, but I'm just so used to cooking, and I just do it. I don't think about it. So yeah, stir that in. It doesn't need much because of the stock cube. You don't want to make your dinner overly salted. Yeah, but you want to, it helps bring out the flavours. Right, okay. Right. The bay leaves in there. Looking pretty good though. Yeah. Right. Dumplings. Let's talk dumplings now. Right. I've made up my dumplings ready. I used beef fatura. I used 200 self-raising flour and 100 grams of fatura. I've put some mixed herbs in mine. Here we go, there it is, like that. See, this is just sort of coming to the ball now. Let's wash my hands before I touch the dough. What I'm going to do is, I think this is an experiment for me because I've never cooked dumplings in my bag ever. So if I put them in now, because this is going to have to boil for like 30 minutes before it goes in the bag, that's going to more or less cook the dumplings by doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this bubble away for 20 minutes. I'm going to wait obviously for it to come to the boil first, then I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to leave it for 20 minutes bubbling away, and then after 20 I'm going to come back, I'm going to shape the dumplings, I'm going to put them in, because then that means by that time I've made them all, it's going to be about, you know, going to need another sort of like 5 minutes or so, and then it'll be going in the bag, and then hopefully they'll cook in the bag. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So we're going to experiment together. If you're doing it in a slow cooker, you just want to put the dumplings in an hour before the time's finished, and in your oven, because obviously it doesn't need to go in there from the beginning. Because I'm doing it in the thermal cooker, I will be putting them in at the beginning of the recipe. So yeah, so that's all you've got to think about. Your cooking, if it's on the stove, in the oven, in a slow cooker, about an hour before the end of when the time's going to be out, make your dumplings, put them in, and cook them then. So you know that's going to be the best thing. Right, we're sort of coming to a bubble now. Gravy's looking pretty good. Putting the flour in will help thicken it up a bit. Also, the veggies will absorb some of the water, because to rehydrate they need to have the water back that you've took out of them, so they're going to absorb some of the gravy here. So another tip as well, when you use a thermal bag, you don't really want much void space here, so I should be putting lightly some foil on top to help keep that heat in, because I'm not going to be filling my casserole pot right up to here. But less void space the better, and it doesn't have to be cast iron you use. I have got another pan that I use, it's like a stainless steel saucepan, it's up there I think, and that works really well as well. But obviously the cast iron, it does really hold the heat, and that's what you want. I hope you find this interesting, because I found it interesting about the bags, and it's not boring some people, but it's really worth knowing, because if you was, you know, hopefully that never happened, but if we was without electricity or something like that, we rely on a lot of our appliances we need electricity for. I think, you know, it just made me think about things, and I thought, well, yeah, no, it's a fair point really, because I do rely on my Instant Pot, my turkey roaster oven, you know, a hob. You know, we all rely on these things. Slow cooker, you know. Right, we want that bubbling a bit more, and then we'll stick the lid on. I did have my spoon. Oh look, I've moved it with my book. Oh my like. Right, okay. Put it there like that. Yeah. So I will leave you while this is boiling for 20 minutes, then we'll come back and we'll do the dumplings. I'm sorry if I sound sort of thing, I'm getting used to all this recording. I mean, it's only supposed to be a bit of fun, and if people enjoy cooking, and you know, I do, it's not going to be professional. I try my best, but I'm no professional, I'm just a normal person. Right, as we can see, we've got some bubbling now. Hopefully you can see from there. Now I'm going to put my lid on. I'm going to leave you and come back when that's had 20 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and do the dumplings. Right, it's been 20 minutes. So now I'm going to do the dumplings. I've got my bag here ready. I'm going to shape them and just put them back in the bowl a minute, because I don't want to let too much heat out of the pot. You can hear it bubbling away. So I'm going to do them about that size probably. There we go. You don't have to make dumplings with a Toro. There should be loads of recipes online if you want to make dumplings. Just I happen to have some because bacon roly-polies is my husband's favourite, so I tend to have some in the cupboard. Right. Now what I'm going to do, once this is ready, so you can see what I'm doing when I put it in the bag, I will turn the camera towards that way. So you can see what I'm doing. Right, so that's all the dumplings rolled up. I'm going to give my hands a quick wash. Better. Right. Right, see if we can make a bit more room here so you can see what I'm actually doing. Move that over there. That out of the way. I want to be really careful because this is on and hot, obviously. Right, okay. Hopefully we'll get the bag a bit more. Yeah, I think you can see it there, can't you? Yeah, a bit better. Move me all out of the way. I might be able to get it around a little bit more. Very carefully. Yeah. There we go. Right. I've got my bit of foil ready. Turn that off now. Unplug that. Safe. Because we want to do this all as quickly as possible. I'm going to move that out of the way. Like I said, I don't want any heat. Well, I want to conserve as much heat as I possibly can. So we're going to do this fairly quickly. So lid off. You can see it's all bubbling away. Oh, come in. And now someone's at the door. Hang on a minute. Sorry. Let's answer the door. Sorry, Daisy. Sorry about that. I didn't have time to pause it. Right, let's go back to this. Post to Amazon. Right, okay. As you can see, it's all bubbling away, and that's how we want it. In there. Oh, stuck together a little bit. It's all right. In there. In there. In there. I'm only doing this quickly because obviously I don't want much heat to escape from my pot. It's got to go in my bag. Right, that'll do. Right. Then I'll skip the foil, and that's just to conserve the heat, so because there's a little bit of a void space. I'm going to put the lid back on. Right, and then we've got to lift it into my bag. Right, here we go. Oh, yeah. Okay. I've also got another padded cushion here that I put around my pot. I'll probably move this around a little bit more now on my knife. Right. Like so. There we go. Now I think we can move it along a little bit more so you can see. There we go. Right. Hang on a minute. I'm going to move it over so you can see a bit better. Right, okay. Right, okay. Right. And in the middle. I've got another padded cover, but you can even use a towel to wrap it in. It's going to stand on that trivet, like so, like that. Going to make sure that's well wrapped in there. Going up, pot. There we go. So we're then going to. We've got the cushion that sits on the top, like that. Get it all out. We're going to put it to bed for a few hours. So it's like that all the way round. So draw it in nice and tight, like so. And then as you can see, move that over there like that. There it is in the bag. I'm going to turn it round a bit so you can see it a bit clearer. There we go. There we are. It's all tucked up in there. And that I'm going to leave in there, not sure what the time is now, between 3 or 4 hours. And that's it. That's all you do. And then what I should do, like I said, if you're cooking it in a slow cooker, it's probably about 3 or 4 hours in a slow cooker. If you're doing it in the oven as well, you want your meat nice and tender, your veggies all soft. I will bring you back so you can see what it comes out like from the thermal cooker. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a bit. Thank you. And I've lost my control for the thing. Hang on, let's have a look. Oh, where did I put it? There it is. There we go. Found it in the end. Hello, we're back. It's been 4 hours, so now we're going to see how it's cooked. So let's have a look, shall we? Right. I'm going to see if the dumplings are cooked, because that's what I wasn't sure about. Let's have a look. Oh, nice. Looks pretty good to me. Look at that. Right, I'm going to get that out. Bag out the way. There we go. Dumplings are perfectly cooked. Oh, still nice and hot. Look at them. Get them veggies out of the way, we don't want them. Let's take that out of the way. That one. Look, lovely. Potatoes. See the steam's coming off it still. Potatoes are perfectly soft. Have a look at the meat. It should be nice and tender. there you have it. Beef casserole, cooked in a thermal bag, still lovely and piping hot, steam still coming off it. Or you could have cooked it in your oven or on the hob. Hope you enjoy this recipe. Thank you very much. See you soon.